What's up, guys? Today we finally have our first video on tapping. I believe it's the first technique that everybody should learn, and that is alt tapping. So alt tapping is most commonly used on the trill pattern, and so respectively I have up the trill speed test created by No One Man. So it's a very nice song with literally just trills, and it's perfect for practicing alt tapping on. As you can see, it has 9 sections, all ranging from slower trills up to very fast trills, and we'll be starting on the 20 notes per second trills. And we're going to slow it down to 20% speed. So, as you can see, it's just a very simple pattern. It's just red, green, red, green, red, green, back and forth. And on this pattern, we're going to be utilizing alt tapping. So first, we start out with a strum of our anchored note. So you want to find out, whenever you're practicing alt tapping, which strum comes first. So if you're going to strum the tapping note first, you have to make sure that you have that note pressed down before you strum it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I would say a lot of people, when they first start tapping, they lose some of the fundamentals. And in fact, when I was learning alt tapping, let's say for this instance where we have the green coming first, I would have the red pressed down and then strum and just wonder why it was not working. So just make sure you're pressing the right frets to start off with. We'll just be holding down green because that's the first strum. So with alt tapping, or any form of tapping, comes elbow strumming. So if this is your first time elbow strumming, there's really not much to it. You got to find out what works for you. I would recommend putting on a long sleeve shirt, something very soft, so that you don't strike your funny bone or something, because that does happen and it sucks. But basically, you're just going to very lightly strike the strum bar. Don't whack it really hard or anything like that. You know, like, don't, when you're pressing your fret down, don't like slam your elbow on it. You know what I mean? Just very lightly strike down on it, and that's all you need to do. So before we start hitting this trill, you should note that when you're going to be alt tapping trills, you almost always start with your tapping finger. For some reason, most charts of songs, even in original Guitar Hero games where you have to tap, very nicely work out that if you start with your tapping hand and have to switch anchored positions, then those will evenly start with tapping gestures too. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but it often very nicely works out that way. And it's harder to start off a trill with your fretting hand for some reason. It just is a little bit tougher. So what we're going to do here is anchor green and have it ready for when the trill comes up. And we're going to elbow strum without doing anything with our tapping hand. We're just going to elbow strum the green. And then we're going to forget about the strums and just focus on pressing the red alternatively with our fretting hand and our tapping hand. Okay? And we're going to try it out. You don't have to strike it real hard, just very softly. Find your rhythm. And that's all there is to it, guys. Now, right now, I'm on 20% speed on 20 notes per second trills. So this would be 4 notes per second, I believe. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. But, so this is very slow. You know, you can start however slow you'd like. Whenever you're learning something new, you have to start slow. And when you feel ready, just speed it up. 20 notes per second is very fast. So right off the bat, when you're learning alt tapping, I wouldn't expect you to be able to do 20 notes per second. If you can, that's great. But, you know, there's no rush to go faster. Just as long as you get that motion down, you'll be able to apply it. So let's speed it up to 50% speed, which will be 10 notes per second, and we'll do the exact same thing. Okay. So, I prefer to use my middle finger when I'm tapping. When I'm one finger tapping, I should say. But when I first started learning alt tapping, I actually found it very, I found it easier for me to use both of my fingers at one time, my index and my middle finger. For whatever reason, it just helped me learn better. And then I switched to my middle finger, and I like that better now. But I remember a couple of years ago, there was a time that I was just using my index finger. Whatever works for you. And I wouldn't really recommend using your pinky or your ring finger, though, because there's just, I don't know, not enough support there, if that makes any sense. And so yeah, guys, that's alt tapping. I'll show you it on full speed. It's the exact same thing. Alright, so I hope this video helps you out. If you want to go to alt taps while you're learning this, that is okay to do it for a little bit. But you really should learn the motion of elbow strumming too, and you will mess up and have to correct it with another elbow strum and all that. But that's okay, that's part of the learning process. So don't just stick to alt taps the entire time. When you actually apply it in songs, it's very rarely going to be all taps for you. So anyway, hope this video helps you out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will definitely address them. And have a good day.